how is she dealing with her conflicts? Is she working with a coach herself? Right. So all of the information, all of the suggestions that she's and advice that she's giving out to her clients, let's see what she's doing and how she's taking her own advice, or if she's working with someone. So without further ado, I am going to add Vee to the stage. Welcome.
Hi. Hello. Oh, girl, my hair really look crazy now. Look like I flew here on a broom.
It don't. It looks great. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Vee.
All right. Well, thank you for that lovely introduction. Anyway, great energy. I'm Vee Mindful. just like you, a relationship coach. I work with typically mature folks, men and women, but I seem to attract more male clients than actual female clients. But I do work with both men and women of all nationalities. And we typically work on some of the things that are very familiar to you, but I focus on connection, reconnection, sex, intimacy, so forth, as the issues that are common as we continue to age.
Perfect. Good evening. Thank you, ladies, for coming on here. I really appreciate you showing up and showing the support. So let's get into it, Vee. Okay. So let's get into it. Are you actually dating? Are you married? Where you at? Because I know a lot of men. I know you work with a lot of men. I know a lot of men have this burning question. So are you dating? Are you married? Are you single? Where are you at, sis?
Okay, I ain't married. I am divorced. I am dating, but I am not married. Typically, what I would tell people, like if you're not married, then you pretty much are single. Even if you are dating, unless you got a ring on your finger, then I probably wouldn't consider you to be completely single. But I wouldn't call myself single, but I wouldn't call myself married because I ain't married.
Perfect. Okay. So single. Are you still mingling? Or are you steadily dating someone? Where are you at?
Well, I'm steadily dating someone. I am not out mingling, so no.
So not out mingling. So she's halfway off the market. That's what we're gonna say. Halfway off the market.
Yes, I'm in no rush to be married either. I did the whole marriage thing. I was married about 12 years, and yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. Not that I'm not against marriage. I just feel like marriage is such a business contract, right? It's just something that, it comes with a whole lot of rules and regulations. And if it don't work out, which my marriage, didn't work out. And I would say we both took a financial hit, but it could have been much worse if he and I were, don't get twisted, he is a jerk. Okay, let me be very clear. But when it came to parting ways and our money, I don't think either one of us were really out for that. Like, I'll get you. Like, neither one of us were playing that role.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that it wasn't a tit for tat. It sounds like it was more amicable than anything, which is a great thing. It's a great thing. Okay. So speaking of dating, and I know that you pretty much said that you're in a long-term relationship or off the market, halfway. That's what we say, halfway off the market.
Halfway off the market.
How did you, in this particular relationship, how did you approach dating differently than you did prior to you becoming a relationship coach?
Okay, wait. So hold on now. I think those are two different questions, right? So how did I approach dating differently post relationship coaching, or just dating? How did I approach this particular relationship differently?
Post the first part. Post.
Okay. Well, I would say after my divorce, and I have a lot of videos, and I'm pretty transparent. Like, one thing about me, I'm pretty transparent. After my divorce, I was single for a long time. I mean, I went on a lot of dates, and I have videos about that, right? I went on a lot of dates. But I had no time for a relationship. I really didn't. I had, 3 sons that I was raising. They were all still minors at the time. My children are grown now, but they were all still minors. And my sister was going through cancer. And so I took in her youngest son. So I had 4 boys. My sister ultimately passed. So then I'm raising 4 sons. And then I'm sitting here, trying to navigate that after divorce. And then my oldest son ends up having his first child super early. So my oldest grandson is nine years old. Yep, I got a 9-year. My grandbaby older than your baby girl. My grandson is 9. So, and then I was sitting out here trying to date, but what I didn't realize was that my life was not in a place to receive anybody. So after becoming like really focusing on, because I got a coach. What happened first was I got a coach of my own. She's not a relationship coach. She is just she's a life, I shouldn't say she's just a, no, she is a life coach. And I would say she was instrumental in helping me get my shit together, because I was all over the place. I didn't understand the masculine and feminine. Like, I knew that played a part in the demise of my marriage, because, I'm gonna tell you, when you are strong, and I don't really like to call myself that strong, independent woman, but when you are one, I promise you, if your man is not stepping up, you will step up and you will take over. And that is what I did in my marriage, right? I took over, girl. And when you're raising sons, I don't have time, to wait for you to, lack of a better word, man up, right? Somebody gotta handle responsibilities. But anyway, working with my life coach, I just realized, okay, when she's like, so, what are you looking for, when we started talking about my dating life? Because we talked about all kinds of stuff. Girl, I didn't even know what I was looking for. I was like, and, so she's like, well, you're never going to be able to attract anything if you don't even know what you want yourself. Absolutely. So I had to really work. And one thing I think it was I was scared to like even say it out loud, just to, how we feel. Sometimes we feel like we're going to jinx ourselves. Yeah. So you kind of just keep it to yourself. You don't want anybody to know this is what you're doing, just in case it doesn't work out for you, right? You don't want to look like, okay, I knew that shit wasn't gonna work for her, right? You don't want to let anybody know, your girlfriends and everybody, that I do want to be in a relationship, and then it don't work out for you, and then everybody talking about you or whatever. So I think a part of that was I was very unclear about what I wanted. Then what my life was supposed to be looking like. Got to worked with a coach, then becoming a relationship coach eventually, because I've had that coach, I want to say 6 years, because I was already doing, let me be clear, I was already doing coaching. I was the role that I play, I should say, is the role of helping people acclimate themselves to corporate America. Right. And typically our young folks. And even in my corporate America role, they would give me problem folks to say, okay, I want you to go report to her, because she can convert that problem employee into somebody who's more engaging. Okay. So I was able, that's how, so I was already coaching, but turned it into like relationship coaching after I started working through my demons. I know it's a long answer to your question. I think just doing all of that, putting in the work of myself. And I've come a long way. For those who know me personally, know me, I've come a very, very, very MF a long way. From my demons, I mean, a lot of demons. And I think, it's not even becoming a relationship coach, it's just education. I'm going to just say Coach Marshaun, it's educating myself and dealing with my own demons.
Yeah, no, I think that's very important. Like you said a lot of stuff, but I really want to go back to the fact that you have a coach, not had, you still have a coach.
I'm about to wipe my sweat. Menopause.
Go ahead. That you have a coach who is helping you navigate not only your relationship, but also life. And I think that's one of the things that we need to make very clear, that even when I'm working with people, I know I specifically work with Black professional women, specifically on the relationship with themselves as well as their romantic relationship. But in that, if your client, and please let me know if this is different for you, but if your client is coming to you and they have a work career problem, or if they have a problem with their child or children, they cannot focus on what we're supposed to talk about. So we have to deal with that thing. And I'm bringing that up because in a way, most relationship coaches, or most coaches, I should say, end up being life coaches.
That's true.
It becomes a holistic thing. If you're not focusing on the issue that we're supposed to discuss in the moment, you're not going to be able to, focus on it unless you handle this thing over here first. So I'm glad that you actually said that she is a life coach, because relationship coaches, we end up becoming your life coach, even though our title is relationship coach, if that makes sense to the people out there and the people in the back, because you can't continue to focus on one area if the person is not focused on the same, if you two are not on the same wavelength. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Okay, so
girl, I think it's starting to storm here. I was like, is it storming outside? So we're gonna pray. I wanted to check I forgot I turned my phone on, but I hear lightning, and I'm not that I can
Ooh.
hear lightning, but I hear thundering outside.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I just want to let everybody know, just in case.
We can't hear nothing over here, but hopefully you won't go out of nothing. That's what we're gonna say. Hopefully you won't go out. Okay. So what are some of your dating challenges, right? That you have faced, even as a coach?
Oh, I even met my partner online. So let's say that when I was online dating, phew, I had a whole lot of empty conversations. Like, I try to explain that to one of my clients because he does a lot of online dating, and it's a lot of conversations you're going to have online that don't go no damn where,
Hmm.
right? And I'm like, don't take it personally because it's the nature of online dating. You're not the only person they're having conversations with, right? And so that was something that I dealt with as well. So you'd be having a conversation, next thing you know, you ain't say jack crap, and they unmatch you. I'm like, I dealt with that too. So I don't think I think if you're going to be online dating, please understand, like, that's the nature of online dating. We all deal with that. I mean, unless you're a perfect 10, but I bet you somebody who is a perfect 10, I bet you they still deal with people that will ghost them or just stop having conversations, and you be like, damn, what I say? I just learned not to take it personally. I'm like, well, they missed out. His ass missed out. It just kept it moving. Like, but that particular client, like, he actually, takes it personally. And I'm like, don't take it personally. That's online dating.
Right, right. Okay, yeah. Online dating, it could be a hit or miss. I
Yes.
met my what is that knocking? Is because I feel like is your mic hitting something?
Is it my earrings?
It might be because I swear I'm keep hearing something.
Oh,
That's exactly what it is. The beer read.
okay.
Okay. Anywho, I think that a lot of people can actually take in exactly what you said. I've dealt with that as well when I was online dating. You're having a conversation, you feel like it's going somewhere, and all of a sudden you get ghosted, or they come back weeks or days later and act as if nothing happened. They want to continue the conversation. It's just a part of online dating. So I totally agree with you there for sure. What about blind spots? Do you still have any blind spots in your current relationship or that your coach has pointed out to you?
Okay, can you hear me better? Because I think,
Yeah.
okay, it
Yeah.
was my girl. I was talking through my damn AirPods, and I wasn't even. I got this big ass microphone in my face, and I wasn't even talking in it. So that's why you heard my
Okay.
That's why you heard my earrings.
Okay.
So, whoo, yeah, struggling over here. I'm hot with the hot flashes, my house is hot because
Mm,
it was hot. I heard you said something about some blind spots. If you don't mind repeating that question, pretty please.
absolutely. Okay. So, as a coach, do you still have blind spots, specifically the ones that maybe your man has pointed out, or even your coach that you just literally didn't see again?
You know, I'm gonna tell you, my coach is very blunt.
Hmm.
And I would say the biggest thing that I've heard her talk to me about repeatedly would be, and it's not even related to relationships, really. It's because I talked to her about my kids, my ex husband, and all this other stuff, work, my colleagues and stuff like that. I talk about other things, but it's to not put a story to something. Right. And that means, like, if somebody does something, it doesn't mean they had malicious intent, to not create this whole
I
story
see.
around
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, it is what it is. And if you made a choice, she's big on, if you made a choice to do something or made a decision to do something, it comes with consequences. Right. You can't really get upset at the consequences. It was your choice to do XYZ. So you must own it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we go over that. So, because sometimes I may get upset about it's a byproduct of a choice I made. But still, nonetheless, yeah, I still get upset about it. I'm like, well, damn, I'm still can get upset about it. Right. But I would say those are the two big things that I hear constantly with her, owning my choice, owning my decision, and it comes, and sometimes it comes with stuff that I wasn't aiming for, but it happened.
I think that that's relatable as well, because a lot of people think that, and you and I have discussed this, how a lot of people think that coaches don't go through anything. So if you're listening right now, you should have heard that we go through, well, specifically Vee, because she's the one who's speaking, but we go through the same thing that you go through. Maybe we have more tools and know how to utilize the
Yeah,
tools, which is why we're saying that we can help you when we talk about working with you. But we go through the same thing, which is why coaches need coaches.
it's true.
Because we
I
have our
believe
own
in
blind
that.
spots. What's that again?
Oh no, I definitely believe in that. I do believe people should, even coaches should have a coach. I absolutely, because I'm not perfect,
Mm-mm,
and just because you and I focus on relationships, it doesn't mean that trust and believe when I tell you my relationship is not perfect. We have issues just like the next couple.
mhm, mhm,
He wasn't made, this ain't the movie Come to America. He wasn't made for me, right? He wasn't born to please Vee
mhm,
Mindful, right?
mhm,
He
mhm,
comes with his childhood issues and trauma
mhm,
and his mommy wounds and all that other ish, right? And I come with, my upbringing, my things that, that I've had. Oh, I see lightning through my curtains, things that have created in me and my experiences, the
mhm,
relationships, all of that. So,
mhm,
no, we struggle just like anybody else.
mhm. And it all of us have played a part in what we're bringing to the relationship, and just realizing that each of us are bringing some type of baggage. And the biggest part that I want to make clear is that it is, and we are, a work in progress. At times you will revert back to that old self where you're comfortable doing the wrong thing per se, when you have the tools to do it a better way. And we just revert back because we're human, right? We're human.
Oh,
But
yeah. I try
owning,
not to, but
yeah,
because I'll
but
tell you right
sometimes it's
now,
hard. Sometimes it's hard, V.
I'll tell my girlfriend, tell you, she's Mimi of Mimi's Mocha Tree. She'll tell you, like, you don't want to see the OV, and I have to warn, I have to tell my partner, like, I promise everything in me,
Mm,
you do not want her to make an appearance,
mm,
because if she makes an appearance, if I curse you out,
mm,
you will cry,
mm.
because my mouth is deadly. I
Ooh,
inherited it from my daddy's side of the family. Yes, I did. I can cuss. I will make you cry. So I'm
ooh,
like, it is best if you just. That's why I'm saying, once I get triggered, like, I think it's important people to know your triggers. If
mhm,
I feel like something or a situation is going to push me to the point to where the old V was like, I'm back. Like, if I have to do that, this is not a
mm.
situation that I need to be in. I will remove
Yes. Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
immediately, because I have healed from that version of somebody who's reckless at the mouth and really can literally kill you with their tongue. It's definitely, something that I don't want a relationship that's going to bring her out. That
Mhm,
relationship ain't for me.
mhm. And Mimi is asking, can you turn up your mic?
You can't hear me? You still can't hear me?
I can hear you just fine, but I'm assuming that some of the people can't, because she said that, can
Let
you
me
turn up your mic?
see. Hold on. Let me see if well, my mic, my hair, my lips. Mm, I don't know. Mimi, it says that it's. I can. Let me see. I'll turn it up a little bit. Is that better? Tell me if that's
Actually, it is.
better.
Yeah, actually, it is.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe I'm.
Oh, a few people are saying that you sound really low. To me, you
Really?
sound fine, but yeah,
I don't know, y'all. Is that better?
it actually is. From to me as well.
Okay. I
Is it
don't
better? Can you
know.
ladies say yes? Ladies,
Yeah.
gentlemen?
Or is it still really low?
Yeah. Okay, they're saying yeah, it's better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why it's low. My apologies. What is? And I do see. Let me see. I see.
Oh no, they're saying thank you. So they can hear you better. They can hear you better.
Okay. I
Okay,
do see
perfect.
like the bubbles right here. I don't see the bubbles going up much. I wonder if I done unplug some sugar honey
No,
iced tea.
you're fine right now. They're saying that they can hear you
Okay.
much better. Okay. Okay. Thank you for confirming, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
Um,
mentioning that. I don't
okay.
know.
So you mentioned choices earlier, right? So what was one lesson that you had to learn the hard way in your personal relationships?
You know, if I should try harder or walk away.
If you
Um
okay, trying harder to keep him, stay there, whatever the choice, right? Okay. Okay. And was
Yeah.
that a common theme?
I know she said it's a little better. I'm sitting here, yeah, hold on, let me see, because I don't know. Was it better when I was talking through my AirPods?
Other than the knock, it was fine, but it was just the knocking. So I don't know.
Okay, so maybe, because I'm wondering, I don't know if I pushed a button here, but it does see like I see the bubbles not.
Not going up and down.
Yeah, no, ooh, it's lightning. I see it. It does look, it's not as, I see that, but I could try. I don't know if it was better with my AirPods because I can just, let me change it to be my AirPods.
Okay.
And let me know if you guys,
It's
ladies,
muffled
let me
now.
know. Does it sound better?
It's muffled now.
Now it's muffled for you?
Yeah, for me. But if they can hear you fine, I can still hear you, but it is a little muffled. Mimi saying yes, the AirPods were louder, but you are fine.
Oh, okay. And now, but you're saying I'm muffled to you.
To me, yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, let me go on back. I don't know what the hot hell, y'all. I don't know what in the mother loving is going on here.
I'm back to, and you're saying the microphone sounds better for you.
For me. But yeah, we want the audience to be able to hear. It's not just about me. So yeah.
Okay. Y'all, I honestly I have no idea. It ain't like I got a whole lot of controls up here. I ain't I don't got it. I got choose this mic or choose that mic, and that's it. But
Yeah, technology.
let me
You're
turn
right,
the
Mimi.
I'll turn the mic all the way up and see if that makes a difference.
Okay.
But it does look like the bubbles are low for some reason. I don't know why. I'll have to address it. Okay. Anyway, but yes, I think the thing that I had, let me take my glasses off. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sweating. I think the thing that I had the hardest, because I've been in situations where I was like, okay, I thought this relationship, was a good thing. Like we get along, we have, such a great time. We could be good friends, and it's not hard to get along with me. Let's be honest. I don't think so. I mean, if you could deal with somebody who does not cut any cards and will just speak their truth, then you could be my friend. But if you want me to sugarcoat things, you might not want me to be your friend.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
I would say, I think for any relationship, I think that's going to be the hardest choice for anybody to make is to, do I keep putting in the work or do I just eventually just call it quits and move away, go on?
And what would make you go on and or stay?
I think it's completely up to the other person. It's not that it's their decision, but you have to pay attention to the other person. Are they willing to put in the work? Like, do they recognize that there's an issue? Do they actually recognize that, you know what? I want, I see you keep complaining about this, V. I want to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
If they are in that, that space to where they're open and they're willing to put in the work, then I feel like you can choose to stay, right, and try it. At least try it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if that person's like, I ain't do shit wrong, it's you. It's everything is your fault. Y'all better run
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there is that. What the hell are you supposed to work on? There's nothing to work on. You have no choice but to go on about your business.
That's true. Because in the beginning, when we're getting into the relationships, or what we should do previously to get into the relationship is
Mm-hmm.
figuring out our own weak spots so we can work on our
Mm-hmm.
weak areas, right? So it is in the beginning all about yourself. However, most of us don't find out what's going on until we're in these relationships. And so
Mm-hmm.
I heard Tony Robbins put it this way: before you even decide to leave the relationship, start working on you, because you might think it's him, and the majority of it may be you. So before you make a decision, start working on your weak areas, the problem things the problems and issues that your partner keeps complaining about. And then you can make an informed decision, like you're saying, giving this person the opportunity. You've talked about the issue, you're working on your side, see if he's working on his side, or vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a man with the woman, whatever. And then if they're not being true to the word that they said, you're going to have to make a decision. And I'm sure it's going to be a tough decision. Nobody's saying that breakup, or including but not limited to a divorce, all of it's hard. All of it's hard,
Yep.
but the bigger issue
Mhm.
is trying to figure out if this is what you want your till death do you part to look like forever and a day if this person never changes.
Mhm.
And that was honestly something that I had to come to grips with as
Yep.
well, because I'm also a divorcee, and I had to decide if he never changes,
Mhm.
because I was trying to put in work. It was all one sided, where I was like, "Oh, let's do this," and he would say it, but the work wasn't behind his words, right? And so
Mhm.
then I had to make a decision. I had to look myself in the face and say, "Hey, if
Mhm.
he never changes, are you willing to stay here to death do you part, or now it's the tough decision?" And I decided to make the tough decision to leave, because again, they're both tough. It's tough to
Yep.
stay and to work on it, but it's also tough
Mhm.
to leave. So
It
don't
is
think
tough.
that the grass is greener on by making one decision or not. They're both tough
Yes.
choices. They are. It's just a matter of where you want your life to end up. So thank you for saying that, because it does make
Mhm.
a difference that both of us have to put in the work at some point. It's one, you do you, but if it's not coming together where the both of you are doing something about making the relationship work and moving it forward
Mhm.
and growing together, etc., it's at some point you're going to have to make a tough decision to either stay and just accept what's
Mhm.
going on, or say I want more out of life and decide to leave. And I'm sure there's some in between, but we're going to move forward. So thank you. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
How do you handle moments when you realize you're not following your own advice?
I will tell you, I'm perfect. Now,
Ah,
and I
now wait a minute now.
I always follow my own damn advice. And I don't. I
Mm,
will. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I sometimes I'll even tell him that I need you to do X, Y, Z, and then I turn around and do the opposite. Like, he will call it out. I will say he has called it out. One thing, because and we have a different type of dynamic, and because we don't live with each other, we don't live near each other. He travels a lot. We both have very, very, very hectic schedules, and so one thing that we would do is leave voice messages. Leave the
okay.
voice
Yeah.
messages. I'm gonna tell you one lesson that I fully have learned: do not have a disagreement on them damn voice messages. Okay, it don't work,
Okay.
y'all. It's just as bad as like arguing through text. Y'all
Mhm.
got to pick up the damn phone and have a conversation.
Yes.
Even though, and I'll say that, next thing you know, and I'll be like, well, it's funny, and next thing you know, I done left a 30-minute dissertation,
Oh my God.
voice message. Yeah. And my coach, she told me a while ago, she said, do not leave those voice messages. If you want to say how your day is going, that's fine. If
Hmm.
you're up to XYZ, that's fine. But she would say, if you have something to talk about, all you're doing is dumping. You're dumping on that person. You're
Hmm.
not having a conversation. She said, you're dumping on him and he's dumping on you. And
Hmm.
it's not healthy to receive somebody just dumping on you. You're supposed to sit there and listen to it. As soon as I hear it, the tone is off. I'll be like, I ain't listening to that shit. Like, I'm like, I know he got me effed up if he think I'm gonna just sit here and listen to you fussing at me in a voice message. So, I've had to do better in that. So, even though I would give him advice, right? And then, I noticed that sometimes I'd be next thing you know, I'm standing there and leaving a down a book report. So I definitely have done that, and I would say, what other advice that I always think that communication is, as cliche, but it is the key to a successful relationship. You know, if your partner is saying something, and let's say they're giving you feedback, and sometimes it's hard for us to receive feedback.
Hmm.
And I'm guilty of that too. And I really feel like it's how you present the feedback. If you're criticizing, nobody's going to change, right? Because you're going to put me on you criticizing me, I'm immediately going to come back at you. And, because now we're playing tennis, we're going back and forth with criticisms, and that's not the way to go, right? But somebody giving you feedback, be open to hearing it, hear what they're saying, because he would get up for a long time. He kept saying he wanted me to come to bed wearing lingerie, and I've said this in one of my videos, right? And I done raised 3 sons, right? And how I look sleeping in lingerie when they could have came in my room and my nipple out, right? And I just like, I never slept with, I always sleep in t-shirt in sweatpants.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't even own any of that crap. And I'm like, I don't, to me, it doesn't look sexy. This is my opinion.
Okay.
Doesn't look good. I'm like, why can't I just come to bed naked? Like it's, then I'm already ready.
Mhm.
Like there's nothing for you to take off. I'm already bam. Right. But he's like, no, where, and then, he kept saying it over and y'all, I just wasn't hearing it. I was like, F this. I ain't wearing that sugar honey iced tea, but finally, we're talking months, y'all, of him complaining about it. I finally went out and bought some. It don't stay on longer than 2 minutes. I'm like, this mess was completely useless. But I had to take the feedback.
Mhm.
That I don't want to see you coming to, looking like, I'm coming to bed looking like I'm sleeping in the forest, and I had to do better, right? And so
Mhm. Mhm.
I had to, I had to finally, if I tell my clients, y'all, have those conversations, listen, I had to tell myself that.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually good. It's funny though, but also good because you were fulfilling one of his fantasies. Maybe he didn't say it this way, right? But you were
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling one of his fantasies. I'm with you, actually. I'm already ready. But at the same but at the same time, that's that hearing what he's actually saying, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it was literally, I feel like, and I don't know your ex or your man, right? It's just his fantasy. And the frumpy, he don't want to see the frumpy. He wants your nipple out. Okay, can we be clear? He wants your nipple out. Okay, playing a little peekaboo. He wake you up, whatever, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things that we think that we're listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
also, let me see. I've just put this up there. Sorry, but also just thinking about, like, you know what? I want to do this because I want to please him,
Mm-hmm.
and asking yourself the bigger question: is this really going to take away from our relationship? Like, if I give in to this thing, is this
Mm-hmm.
going to take anything away from the relationship? It might not even add anything to the relationship, but
Mm-hmm.
did, because, like you said, it's usually on 2-3 seconds,
Girl,
literally.
you ever tried to like roll over with lingerie on? Like, I mean, when you roll over, that thing just it don't roll well, right? And the thing just be all in cracks and crevices, and I'm like,
Right.
this mess
Everywhere it
is
ain't supposed to be.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, okay. Look, shout out to all the women who come to bed looking like queens. Okay, y'all, more power to you. I'm just, yeah, I've raised three sons. I just, I be ready to go. Somebody outside my bushes, I'm ready. Like I got on t-shirt, sweatpants. I could run out the house. You can't run out the house in no lingerie if you had to in the middle of the night. I'm
Well,
just
I
saying.
guess you're running out of your birthday suit anyway, so you might as well run out of the lingerie too.
Well, I only wear the birthday suit when he's laying right there, girl. But
Oh,
other
okay,
than
okay.
that, no, I'm in full t-shirt, old sweatpants with paint on it. Yeah.
Front for real. But okay, I get it. He ain't there, whatever. Okay, okay. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna move forward. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
um, what's your advice? So we're gonna switch a little bit. What's your advice for someone who struggles to handle conflict in a healthy way?
You know, conflict will absolutely tear a relationship apart. Speaking from experience, conflict is something that we all have been taught to deal with conflict differently. How your parents dealt with conflict, I promise you, you probably deal with conflict the same way they do. And when you get two people together that weren't raised in the same household, they have different perceptions on how to deal with conflict.
Yes.
um, I would say before you even get down that, we're in love, we're going to be together and all this, y'all need to have a conversation about how do you handle conflict? Do you just, because I remember one guy I was dating, and, he's a cool dude. And, we had really great times. But I noticed and it wasn't even much that we didn't have conflict. We weren't together long enough to really have conflict. I noticed that he would avoid it. Like,
Mhm.
and it was like brush under the rug. He didn't want to deal with it head on, and it'd be something minor. But it was enough for a red flag for me to say, I ain't going down that damn rabbit hole because something is telling me
Mm.
this man don't, I guess he, we supposed to go to sleep at night and just like Groundhog's Day, I'm supposed to wake up and forgot all the shit that happened yesterday. It's a brand new day. And just because I don't went to sleep and woke up, doesn't mean that whatever we were dealing with disappears too. Like, but I felt like that was something he did.
Mhm.
I think you got to figure out how somebody resolves conflict, and then y'all got to come up with an agreement of how we're going to resolve conflict, right? Because it's inevitable. It can either bring you two together. If not, it's going to tear you apart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that literally goes back to what you said earlier. Very cliche, but really, communication is the key to you having
Mm-hmm.
a healthy relationship, including right, but even opening up to what the conflict looked like from your guardians, parents or guardians, because like V just mentioned, you absolutely are showing up and pretty much the exact same way. I know there are
Yep.
some people that just reject it, like heck no, that's not what I'm doing. But the
Mm-hmm.
majority of people take what they saw, and even if we recognize it as being what we call toxic, we still
Yeah.
do it. That's the comfort zone, and so we have to learn new ways to handle conflict. And I think having that conversation, not a conversation that
Mm-hmm.
most of us think about having when we get into a relationship, but
Yeah.
having the
Mm-hmm.
conversation of how they handle conflict, and or making sure that you see how they handle conflict before you get
Yep.
into this relationship with them is only going to help. It's going to empower you to feel like you made an informed decision. So I wholeheartedly agree with that. Conflict and
Mm-hmm.
communicate, like all of those pieces for sure. And I'm sure that's not anything new for you for you people out here that's been listening to relationship advice, but it
Mm-hmm.
really is the truth. And this is where
Yep.
so many people are so weak in their relationship because of the conflict and the communication. It really is. So
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Well,
how about
let me
this?
tell you, because I
Go
was
ahead.
on
Go ahead.
somebody's show yesterday, and
Mhm.
because she was like, where does that catch flights and feelings come from? And because I had already started talking about, like, I feel like the best way to get to know your partner, y'all, is through travel. So before you sign a lease, before you ask her to marry you, before you say I do, y'all need to take a vacation. Because I'm telling you, you go on date after date with somebody, if y'all doing the same crap all the time, y'all going to dinner and a movie, y'all going axe throwing, y'all doing simple stuff, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's not enough opportunities in those brief interactions to find out who this person is. You're only going to learn somebody through situations. You're not going to let, they could sit here and tell you anything they want to tell you. Just like an interview. You all been on interviews, can you tell me about a time when you were, it don't mean sit here and tell me y'all don't be bullshitting. Y'all know damn well that y'all be sitting over there making stuff up. You were not, oh, what is your greatest weakness? Because I'm a perfectionist. You ain't no damn perfectionist. Okay, y'all Google that answer, right? So what you think they doing on these dates? They're legit is showing up as their representative. If you
Mhm.
want to get to know the real person, y'all gonna have to go through situations. And sometimes, a stressful date might happen, but 9 times out of 10, it ain't. Okay. What's stressful at dinner? Somebody burns your steak. Okay. Now what if that person gets upset because and they start cussing out
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
waiter or the waitress? See, that was a situation that presented an opportunity for you to know that hell no,
Right.
I don't want to
Right.
be with this
You better
person.
run.
Yep. So you gotta go through situations. That's the only way you're gonna get to know people. And I'm a big, huge believer in traveling. Right? I don't care if it's 3 day trip, 4 day trip, 4 weeks. I don't care. Take
Mhm.
a trip. Find out who the heck this person is. Their morning routines, their night routines. I mean, it could be as simple as they fart and they sleep all night long. How was you gonna know that? Right? From a dinner date, you was not gonna find out. It's stuff like that's why I'm huge. Like that's what that catch flights and feelings, comes from. On my fourth date with my partner, we went to Africa. I ain't know this man, and I did a whole video about it. We packed our bags and we went to the Serengeti, and because I wanted to go to Africa, and I wanted to go, because Mimi was supposed to have gone, but hey, you want to go to Tanzania? You want to go to Tanzania? And I got it in my mind, I'm going to Tanzania, damn it. And then what happened? See, that's why I was doing solo trips. Ain't that right, Mimi? Okay. Mimi backed out, y'all. She backed out of going to Tanzania. I met this man and I told him, well, because I was already hyped. I saw the videos of Zanzibar and I was like, oh, I'm going.
Mhm.
And I was going to go by myself. Then I meet him, and he's in Africa, building property in another country. So we connected, and he said, "Well, I'll go with you to Tanzania, to Serengeti, if you want to still go." And I said, "Why the hell not?" I went, and we had a wonderful time, right? It could have gone all kinds of ways, but it didn't. But I got to learn more about him that I would not have been able to learn just with dinner and a movie.
It's true. Mimi responded. I had cake for
Y'all don't believe she had cake. She backed out, y'all. She went to Disney. I ain't forgot, girl. She went to Disney World instead. I remember you went to Disney World, but no, she had life happens, right? Life happens. Unfortunately, Mimi lost her father, and her father was going through health challenges at that time. So I get it. Going out of the country, is not ideal when you got issues back here at home. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just effing with her, but I only knew about Tan. I was not even ever going to go until she was like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah."
In that voice, you want to go, my friend? You want to go?
Yeah, and I was ready to go. I was like, "Damn, this is what Zanzibar." I'm like, and y'all, it is the most beautiful water in on this planet. And I travel a lot, right? Zanzibar is beautiful. The water is amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, thank you for sharing,
Hmm.
and thanks for responding, Mimi. She throwing you under the bus, all types of bus. You get ran over tonight. Okay, I just want your opinion on some of these things. I know you don't necessarily know all of your audience or even all of my audience members, but I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on why do you think so many people struggle to take their own advice? Not the coaches that they're working with, right? Because you know how sometimes you have a conversation with somebody and they can give you some great advice. And
Hmm.
then when you take a peek into their own relationship, it's like, you you told me this great stuff, but you're not even doing this yourself. So why do you feel
Hmm.
that so many people can give such great advice, but they struggle to take their own advice?
I think because people don't know like what's going on, and like we're not self-aware. Like, okay, so I'm in another certification class, and one thing that they talk about in this class is the Gottman's certification. And so they said that's why when you're coaching or counseling couples, you have to meet with the couple together and then separate them, and that person needs to tell you about that spouse, and that spouse needs to tell you about the other person, because we are not self-aware of what we're doing. So it takes somebody else to tell us what we're doing that is not necessarily the best. But I will say, and my girlfriends will tell you, look, and because they have known me. Mimi has known me almost 40 years, since I was a little girl. Okay, and I have another girlfriend, Ebony, and another girlfriend, Joanna. I have been friends with these ladies. These are my very best friends in life, and I am blessed to have them, especially since my very best friend, my sister, passed away, and I don't have any other siblings, and she and I were very close. The advice that I give, I live my life to it, and they can sit here and tell you. I don't sit here in, you know, like I'm a hell of a mother. I don't sit here and how some people be on social media, paint themselves to be one way, and then behind closed doors they got their children starving. That
Yeah.
is not me. I don't sit here and put things out there on YouTube or anything, things that I don't believe in myself, things that I don't aim to practice myself. I
Mhm.
am not one of those people that, presents themselves one way. I know somebody commented. I think it was a guy. He was like, "Ain't no way nobody riding no horse." He talking about the penis, girl. "Ain't nobody riding that horse for 45 minutes." He said, "You ain't no woman riding it past 3 minutes." I could sit here and tell you, my girlfriend, and my partner would tell you, I have been on that damn thing for 45 minutes, and I am not exaggerating. Okay, my core muscles be tight. Okay. It ain't the knees, y'all. And they be like, "Damn, my knees could never." It ain't the damn knees. It's the core. I mean, I'm not riding. He not on concrete. It's on the bed. We on the soft bed. It's the core, y'all. It's the pelvic floor, right? You gotta strengthen it, and a great way to strengthen that is to be on top, right? So I don't put things out there that one thing I'm not. I can't stand a liar. I
Mhm.
can't stand somebody misrepresenting themselves.
Mhm.
Like, I am who I am, and you see me me in the street, you see me here on the show, wherever, trust and believe I am presenting this is who I am.
Mhm.
So, but I think in a relationship, I may not be able to see everything that I'm doing wrong. And it's important for my partner to communicate what I could be doing better.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Mimi just said no lies, transparency, and genuine. Um, but no, that absolutely makes sense. And honestly, it doesn't matter if somebody believes what you're saying, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you know it's your truth. Now, if you're
Mm-hmm.
lying and people, you don't have no evidence, no receipts, as they say, then
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's one thing. But if it's your truth, it's your truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I am
Yep.
the exact same way as far as coach. I do not suggest you do something that I'm not willing to do myself.
That's true.
And I totally am a big believer in practicing what you're preaching. I hate a hypocrite, a liar.
Mm-hmm.
There have been plenty of relationship coaches
Yep.
that have been outed about
Mm-hmm.
giving this great advice that they are not taking themselves.
Yep.
One man is coming to mind right now, but I won't throw him under the bus. He's been under there,
I
and
know you talking about, oh girl, I can't stand to hear him talk. I'll be like, I see him talking like scroll, little
seriously.
lying, cheating ass.
Okay,
Got
moving on.
nerve.
We on the same page. Moving on though. All I'm saying is that I don't want to be that person. And I'm happy
Yep.
to hear that you don't want to be that person. We really have
Nope.
to live in integrity and show up as literally the best self. Because if you're misrepresenting yourself just for a dollar, you're gonna be outed anyway. So girl, why you do that? Why you do that? I'm putting it up here. I ain't say it though. I ain't say it.
I'm gonna say the second one.
That,
That's how I'm gonna say
to
it. Like I'm
me, it was the
like
second one. But
had
anywho,
that woman up there in a bonnet looking crazy. I said, ain't
let
no
me take it
way.
down. Okay, indeed. From the shows I've seen, V, you just spit everything right out. Yoli from Yoli. But
Thank you.
anyway,
Thank
yes,
you.
I am very, very happy to hear you say that because I really hate somebody that misrepresents themselves. Because
Mm-hmm.
literally, that old saying, "What you do in the dark comes in the light," it always does. It always does.
It
So,
does.
okay,
It does. It does. And I'm not, I will say, like, I try not to share too much details about my exes, right?
hmm
Especially my ex-husband. Because I don't want to, I mean, my son lives there, and I'll
hmm
talk about that.
hmm
It has been very hard on us. He moved there for football. He's about to graduate high school. Um, and I try not to, put too much out there, but
yeah,
because as a parent, you try to protect your child from all the
absolutely.
information,
Yep.
but the way the universe works and God works, my son's experiencing it.
hmm
And I'm like, I told you, I ain't no liar.
Yeah.
I told you that mother sucker was she said, I told you. And sometimes you gotta experience it for yourself. And that's just life.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay. Oh, we running over. I didn't realize. See, the conversation is juicy. Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and then we're gonna wrap up. So thank you. I'm already gonna thank you in advance because
Thank you.
this has been a juicy conversation. So, what's one practice that you can recommend to someone who wants to become more a more self-aware dater?
Be open to feedback. Ask for feedback. I did that. I asked for feedback. I sure as hell did. When my ex-husband and I were on good terms, we used to be like, I did a whole video about it. We traveled when we were in court, and then we would be in front of the judge, and y'all we hop on the plane, and our asses was traveling, getting a divorce. But I asked for feedback, and I asked other people that I was going on dates with feedback. Like, what could I be doing better? Or what could I improve on? My ex-husband said, your mouth. I told you. He said, your mouth is deadly. You need to tame your mouth. Right.
Mm,
I asked somebody else, and he said the same thing because he had known me for a long time as well. And he said, V, it's your mouth. Your mouth is the worst part of you. Right. You have to be open to receive or ask for the feedback, receive it, and then do some work on it.
yes, do some
Right. And I think that's as simple as that. That's how you become self-aware. You can't go around here thinking that your shit don't stink, because I promise you it does. Just find out what their experiences are with you. If you're on good terms with your exes, ask for feedback. What could I have been doing better? And
yeah.
then work on it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm so happy that you said that because before I became a coach, that was
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I did with my exes because I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I'm not getting to the okay, let me back up. I wasn't getting to the next level with the men I was dating. And I was so confused. Why was I confused? I was confused because at this time I had already been married and divorced. So I'm like, well, somebody chose me before. So what is the problem? Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
In
What's the
that,
problem?
right. What was the problem? The problem was I was literally too clingy. I was too clingy. I was
Oh.
too needy. I was insecure, and all that stuff was
Mm.
just bubbling up. Right.
You have an anxious attachment style?
I did. I did
Okay.
before, and now
Okay.
I'm secure. But yes, I totally had an anxious attachment style, and I'm glad that you said that because that's one of the things that if you don't know what your attachment style is, absolutely seek out, try to figure out what your attachment style
Mm-hmm.
is because that is something where excuse me, some of your blind spots are going to be.
Yep.
I had no idea that I shouldn't be trying to hold on so tight. I had no idea that he should
Mm.
get his me time because I wanted to be with you. Like, what you mean you want to do something by yourself? What you mean you
Ooh,
want to do
you'd have drove me batshit crazy, girl. I can't deal with girl because
something? Well,
I
I
was
did
an
not
avoidant,
know. I did.
girl.
But this is the thing. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know, and we don't
Mm-hmm.
know our blind spots, which is why working with someone and getting the
Mm-hmm.
feedback, as you said, is so important. That is
Yep.
exactly what I did. After a certain period of time, I would just date after date, or you date for a
Mm-hmm.
few months, this one person or whatever, and I kept going down that roller coaster. I was just going round and round and round,
Yep.
over hump, and finally, I was just like, okay, enough is enough.
Mm.
I took a 2 year hiatus from dating
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I started to, you know how we get that what you doing text out of the blue?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime those texts would come through from my exes, I would literally ask to meet in person or have a conversation. And in
Okay.
that, I was asking for the feedback. What happened? What made you
Okay.
not be attracted to me? That where we can get to the next level, whatever the actual
Mm-hmm.
verbiage was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I was absolutely getting exactly what you said. I needed the
The
feedback so I
feedback.
could work on my weak areas. And that's exactly what I started doing. Lo and
Mm-hmm.
behold, all of the things that I started working on, I started doing that. So my anxious attachment, me needing to
Mm-hmm.
always be in his space, in his face every
Yeah.
minute,
Uh-huh.
I stopped doing that. I get it now because now I'd be like, hold up, I need some space. But I didn't
Yeah.
understand that before. And that's what a lot of we just don't know what we don't know. So thank you.
Oh
Thank
yeah.
you for
No,
mentioning
no,
that.
I'm because I didn't talk about like I had an avoidant. And I'm gonna tell you, I feel like those attachment styles don't necessarily go anywhere. I feel like a trigger,
Mhm.
you can be triggered from it, right? And so I'm like, I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Like I'm telling you right now, my AWS will be so I will just in a heartbeat, y'all. I can still act like, oh, I never loved you to begin with, right? And it's something that I've had to work on of being open, vulnerable. I know we see more men, that may have an avoidant attachment style than women. Women might, show more of anxious, be the clingy, the needy. But girl, I had the opposite. I'm like, okay. There's this guy, and I was saying this on the interview yesterday. There's this guy on Instagram. Y'all may have seen him. And if you follow me on Instagram, I've been reposting his stuff in my stories. But he does the red flag thing. And so he wears like a do rag. And so when he's a woman, he has a do rag. And when he's a man, he just is on the phone. And he, says things and they're red flags. And the when he's the woman, he's like, and you're blocked. And when I tell you that is, I am so quick to be like, I'm not dealing with that shit, right? Because I'm like, I'm not, because I know there's if you push me too far, I will check out in a second. I will.
Mm,
I
mhm.
will because I feel like I have to protect myself, but not in a way to where I don't want to be open and I don't want to love, right? But they're just I'm just the red flags I'm going to be hyper vigilant in them because I'm like, is this something that can be worked on? If not, I'm out.
But
I'm
is that
out.
part of an avoidant
Yes.
attachment stuff? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Yes. And I wasn't born, let me
Just
tell you,
running, just running, honey.
girl, I wasn't born like I came. My parents are still married 52 years. I wasn't born with it. I'm pretty sure being in a marriage for 12 years to somebody who's narcissistic, which I did not know what it was. I just knew that he used to gaslight the shit out of me.
Mm,
And I think it had me question a whole lot of stuff because when you're constantly gaslit, you start questioning your own mental state.
yeah.
Like, I know damn well I ain't that stupid. Like, is it me? Because and you talking years and years of this abuse, um, it caused me to be like, I don't ever, want to
Yeah.
be in that situation ever again. So yeah, it caused me to avoid intimacy at all costs, and I became a serial dater.
Mhm. Wait a minute. Okay, can we go there for a little bit? The serial
Mm-hmm.
dater.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that. So, okay, so you avoided, and so if I'm hearing you correctly, you were avoiding intimacy. So anytime the relationship would get a little bit deep, you'd be like,
I'm
uh,
out.
ah, okay.
And then the simplest things would turn me off. I distinct, and I said this story before, but I distinctly remember being on a date with somebody, and he sat up so damn straight, it turned me like it dried up every bit of my cooch, and I was like, there is no way this man is ever going to see me again. Like we was just sitting at the bar, and he was like this, and I was like, what the f is he doing?
Yeah.
Like,
What was
why
that?
is he sitting up so erect, right? And I was like, that's a turn off. He'll never see me again.
Oh my
And
gosh,
I
that one little thing. Well, you did just say
one
that.
little thing,
You did just say that. My bad.
one little thing. Like it was constant. Like it was, and I'm like, damn, something's wrong with me. But it took many dates
Mhm.
for me to realize something was wrong with me. Many, like I went on a couple of hundred, right? I remember leaving a date. I remember just getting up in the middle of the date, and I wasn't rude, but I was like, I'm just gonna go home, And he was like, "Excuse me," and he was
Oh.
boring me. He bored me to tears. He just wasn't. It was a. I was trying to have a conversation. He wasn't. He was asking me yes or no questions, and I felt like I was pulling teeth. And I just said, I can't do this anymore. So I left. And he's like, "You want me to walk you to your car?" And I was like, "No, I remember where I parked," and I rolled out. I said, let me hurry up and get home and catch Dateline, right? I'd rather be at home watching murders and killers on TV, So I just can remember so many things that just turn. I remember one guy, and I was like, okay, he's cute, right? But he had a lot of money. And he kept trying to attract me with his money. And y'all, that turned me off. Like, and I said, I don't know what kind of buckethead bitch you think I am that's going to be attracted to the fact that you have money. But he's like, you can come out and you can ride in my boats. You can come to my house on the water. And I was like, dude, I don't give a And I said, I'm not. And it just irritated me. And I told him about himself, and I was like, maybe somebody who's 25 years old would be attracted to you trying to pull her in with money. That ain't me. Right. And so I just remember so many men, and I always told them, I never ghosted them. One thing I never did was ghost. If you wanted my input, I always told you. Right. And I'd be like, no, you're not for me because XYZ.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you brought up a lot of stuff, but the one thing that really stuck with me was specifically when you were talking about the man trying to draw you in with his money. men men that do that often complain later on that the woman only wants him for his money,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing that's how you presented yourself.
Just like women who present themselves as, where, I understand, baby girl, you might have a banging body. I understand that, right? But if that's what you constantly present, that's what you're going to attract, somebody who's only interested in your body, right?
Absolutely.
And then if something happens to where your beauty starts to fade, they're going to be looking for somebody else with a better body, a younger face,
Mhm.
right? So it's important to attract people based on character,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like, so he is probably looking for somebody young, beautiful, right? And this was 10 years ago when I was younger, right? And he was significantly older than me at that time. So
Okay.
now he's
Okay.
got to be in his 60s, right? And he wasn't bad looking, but he got to be in his 60s now. And so yeah, if you want me to use you for your money, then but I'm not like that. I'm
Mhm.
not a gold digger. I just because if I don't like you, I don't like you. You
Yeah.
having money in your pocket is not going to make me like you more. If I got to sleep with you and roll over and you look like a gorilla, I'd rather be with somebody broke.
Wow.
Because ain't no damn way that I can't do it. Shout out, I've never been a gold digger. Shout out to all the women that can do it. Girl, I can't do it. I can't do it because I got to roll over and the lights better never come on.
Mm. OM Jesus. Okay, you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad. The lights better not never come on. Okay. So we are going to wrap it up. I seen some of you saying that you need more than an hour. You need at least 2 hours. We didn't plan for 2 hours. Okay. I stretched it out to 1 hour. Okay, baby. I gave you at least one full hour. But we are going to wrap this up. I want Vee, for especially for the people that don't know you from my side, can you let them know where to get in contact with you?
Absolutely. I am on YouTube, Vee Mindful. And people, I have noticed that people send me emails and I put the Gmail up there as vmindful@gmail.com because I'm noticing that people have been just communicating with me via email. If you leave comments on my YouTube videos, I answer everybody's comment. And people send me emails and ask me questions. And it's not coaching questions, but because if you need consistent coaching, I'm definitely available for that.
Mm-hmm.
But people will just ask, random questions or want to tell me about a product that they've tried because I do like to talk about sex and intimacy, y'all. And I do like if you know about a product. Because now I'm about to do a video. I went to the doctor today, y'all. I went and asked for the estrogen for the cooch. Now we're going to use my cooch to try out a bunch of, different things to see what's good for painful sex. So we're about to use my cooch to do this experiment. So I got a few products and I'm going to try for y'all, right? But so I went to the doctor today to ask for the estrogen cream for the cootie coo.
Mm-hmm.
So but if you have, let's say, products, my thing about to come out, products that you want to recommend, y'all email them to me and let me learn about them so that I can try them or put it on my channel to recommend because a lot of us are going through menopause, perimenopause. I'm
Yep. Yep.
postmenopausal. A lot of men are going through ED, right? I want to be able to use my platform to share information so that we don't allow the next phase of our lives, 50 and over, to
Yeah.
keep us from having healthy relationships, healthy
Mm-hmm.
sex,
Mm-hmm.
right? And of course, healthy relationships with ourselves. So you guys, got any input, product ideas, by all means, send them to me because, I will try. I will try them.
Okay. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, me and Vee are deciding to do this, come go live roughly every 3 weeks. So you will
Yes.
see us as a pair at least every 3 weeks. Vee posts way more than I do on YouTube. However, I am also on YouTube for those of you who have not found me under at Marshaun Olanio. And I thank you for coming on here today and sharing your own personal story. And thank you, ladies, for coming here and participating because it does make a difference with everybody just showing up for one another and the support. But then also, if you have any questions, right, then put them down in the comment section and we will answer, like Vee just
Mhm.
mentioned. But also, reach out to her. Go ahead and follow her. I have it in the description
Mhm.
area. And that way you can get in contact with her if you want some continuous coaching from her, or if you want to check out her channel and take a deeper dive into some of the products that she's mentioned before. So thank you
Mhm.
for showing up and showing out today.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you coming. And nothing further, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time on the next conversation. All right. So have a great night. Bye
Thank
bye
you.
now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye bye.